Hello everyone, welcome back to Jikook Moments. What if the simplest moments actually hold the deepest meaning? When everything seems ordinary, routine practice, light jokes, even fleeting interactions that almost go unnoticed, that's often where the most honest details quietly emerge. There's no effort to make them look special, no exaggerated spotlight. And yet, somehow, those small things feel more real, more sincere, and harder to ignore. After Jungkook and RM safely returned to South Korea following their extra time in Japan, there was a clear sense of relief. Their return brought a certain calm. They both looked healthy, relaxed, and as if they had truly wrapped up their overseas schedule on a good note. Moments like this always bring warmth to fans, because in the end, what matters most is seeing them back safe and well. But behind that comforting return, there's something else just as interesting to notice. Not big, standout moments, but small fragments of togetherness that feel a little too warm to be dismissed as mere coincidence. Today, we're going to take a closer look at the interactions between Jimin and Jungkook, from spontaneous gestures that happen naturally, to genuine reactions that are hard to hide, to subtle patterns that keep repeating without ever being openly highlighted. Because perhaps what's most intriguing isn't what they clearly show, but what remains visible even when it isn't meant to be noticed. In the latest released content, we once again see their dynamic during choreography practice. While the other members focus seriously on perfecting their moves, there's something slightly different in the way Jimin and Jungkook interact. It's not that they're unprofessional, on the contrary, they remain focused and fully engaged. But there's a lightness in their presence together, a sense of comfort that makes every interaction feel more alive. One moment that really stands out is when Jimin playfully teases Jungkook again by tickling his chest. It's a simple gesture, something that might even seem trivial, but Jungkook's reaction says a lot. He tries to hold back his smile, as if wanting to stay composed and unaffected. But in the end, he fails. The smile still appears, genuine, spontaneous, and completely unfiltered. There's a clear sense of honesty in that expression. It feels like happiness that comes naturally without thought. The way Jungkook responds isn't just a casual reaction. It reflects a level of comfort that has been built over time. It's not forced or constructed, but something that simply happens because it's already part of their something familiar and natural. Another equally interesting moment happens when they review their practice. In a situation that usually requires focus and evaluation, Jungkook casually crosses his arm over Jimin's shoulder. The gesture feels incredibly natural, as if it's not something that requires a second thought. There's no hesitation, no awkwardness, just a simple movement that flows effortlessly. Jimin responds just as casually. He doesn't overreact, stays focused on the screen, yet clearly isn't bothered by the closeness. In fact, he seems comfortable. And that's where the strength of this moment lies. Real closeness often doesn't need explanation or emphasis. It exists in its simplest form, yet feels the most powerful. If you look closer, moments like these don't just happen once. Throughout the practice, there are many small details scattered around, brief, quick, and easy to miss. But when put together, they form a bigger picture. The way they stand close to each other, how their glances occasionally meet, how they move in a rhythm that feels aligned, it all creates the impression of a naturally built connection. Their synchronization isn't only visible in precise choreography, but also in the energy they share. There's a kind of harmony that's hard to explain, as if they understand each other without needing much verbal communication. Every movement feels not only accurate, but also softer and more fluid. Interestingly, even in the middle of intense and demanding practice, their playful side never completely disappears. Light teasing still happens, small smiles remain, and the atmosphere never feels stiff. This balance is what makes their interactions so engaging, a blend of professionalism and personal comfort existing side by side. There's also a moment where they briefly hold hands, without a clear context, without any dramatic reason. And perhaps because of that simplicity, it feels even more special. Nothing is staged, nothing is forced. Just a spontaneous gesture that may be short, but leaves a lasting impression. When viewed as a whole, their dynamic shows something consistent. There's a closeness that keeps appearing, even in the most casual situations. Small gestures that might go unnoticed actually become the clearest reflection of that bond. They don't need to show anything excessively, because it's already evident in the way they interact. Their attention toward each other also appears in subtle ways. Not something striking or exaggerated, but something that naturally exists within everyday interactions. It's as if, amid everything happening around them, that attention always returns to the same point. And from there, these small yet meaningful moments are born. In the end, what makes all of this so compelling isn't one big, dramatic moment, but a series of small details that continuously appear and complement each other. A togetherness that feels simple, interactions that flow effortlessly, and a comfort that looks completely natural. All of it forms a complete picture of a warm and meaningful connection. And perhaps it's exactly because of that simplicity that these moments feel closer. Easier to feel. Easier to understand, even if they're hard to fully put into words. Because sometimes, the most meaningful things don't come in grand forms. They appear quietly, in consistent small details, in unconscious habits, and in interactions that seem ordinary, yet feel different. So, what do you think? Are these just ordinary coincidences? Or part of something that always finds its way back to the same point? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to Jikook Moments for more interesting analyses. See you in the next video.